So, for some of you guys who have been following me for a while or who have known me back when I lived in Rockford, I used to have this podcast called The Everything Show. Shout out to you guys who have been around for that long. The Everything Show was a podcast that I ran with a couple of my buddies, Marquise, Maurice, and Jeremiah. Those are my brothers. You guys better be listening to this. Otherwise, you fake. I'm just kidding. But the Everything Show, I ran that with those three guys. It was a lot of fun, but all good things come to an end. We all went our separate ways, start doing our own things in a good way. But podcasting and content creating was something that I love to do, something I still love to do. And I always knew that I would someday come back to, doing podcasting. And I used to always tell my wife, shout out to Adela Johnson, my beautiful wife, but I used to always tell her, like, man, I really miss podcasting. I miss doing that. I miss the conversations. I miss the topics that used to come up. I miss the community that we used to have. I missed all of that. I had a lot of fun doing it. I did it with some great people. I miss all the guests that we had on the show. And she used to just tell me, like, dude, just do it. Just start something. Just do it, And those of you who know me, I'm the type of person who, I'm not starting something unless it's perfect. And, that could really slow you down in life. And, that has slowed me down in life. We'll get into that. I'm sure that'll be a topic sooner or later on this podcast. But, so I always knew that I would start a podcast up. I just didn't know what the topic would be. Those of you who know me, you guys know I love to talk about everything. That is part of the reason why we named the previous podcast The Everything Show. I like to talk about everything. If something pops up, I'll talk about it. If somebody says this, I'll talk about it. But I knew I needed to find a niche. I needed to really dive in and narrow down a topic. That's how you find a community. But I just couldn't figure out what topic I would want to talk about. So fast forward to November. That is when my wife and I welcomed in a beautiful baby. We had a daughter. Her name is Jayvious Johnson. And right then and there when she was born, I knew what the podcast topic would be about. I'm just kidding. Some people are going to be like, why would you say that? But yeah. So I became a father. I became a dad, a superhero, whatever you want to call it. I became that day. So fast forward to the beginning of this year, which is 2022. I told myself, man, Jayvious, you're going to start a podcast this year. You're going to start. No matter what it is, no matter what it looks like, you're just going to start. No matter what equipment you have, just going to start. And I'm just sitting there and thinking and brainstorming topics, things that I like to talk about. And the number one thing that was on the top of my list was fatherhood, right? I love being a father. It brings so much joy to my life. It's something that will never be able to leave me. Like, I'll always be a father. I was like, that's perfect. I love talking about being a dad. I love talking about my family. It brings so much joy to me. Like, I could talk about it forever. And I was like, that's perfect. That is perfect. So fast forward to, I want to say about a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago, I brainstormed and jot down these different name ideas for the podcast, right? They were pretty good, if I do say so myself. And I went to Insta and FB and put these names in a poll and had the people vote. And then out came the Dad Lab.